FearnutZ, it's a show where two guys talk to you. Even though you can't talk back, Mr. FearnutZ will feel so much to talking guys. Last 30 minutes to an hour, those two guys that I mentioned have a show named FearnutZ. And you should watch it right now.
Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of the FearnutZ Hour. I'm Mr. FearnutZ. Along with me always is Fearsome. What is on topic for today?
Today we're going to talk about zombie survival. A lot of people are like, oh, zombie attack will never happen. Shh. That's stupid.
Yeah, read your Bible. It even says, the dead will walk the earth.
Well, and zombies are like God. Sure, if you don't believe in them and they're not real, then it won't hurt you. But if you don't believe in them and they are real, you're screwed.
Yeah. Quickly, we want to make a quick note about Friday. We went to see the Avengers. Just anyone who hasn't seen it yet, you need to go out and see that movie. Best Marvel movie ever made. Fantastic. Alright, so what is our first topic?
And stay after the credits.
Stay after the credits. Yeah, you know this is a Marvel movie. There's going to be stuff after the credits. And it's hilarious what's after the credits. So, alright. First topic for zombie survival.
Which one are we going to start with? The weapons?
We can start with the weapons. Now, you know, in a perfect world, I have been preaching the zombie shelter. But that's going to take a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of planning. So this is what you can do to survive an everyday zombie attack if it happened tomorrow. So we're going to start talking about weapons and what weapons are good and why they're good. Now we had to pull up, and it was pretty much even between three different: gun or firearm, blunt objects, and then edged weapons like swords, knives, things of that nature. Now personally, I believe the blunt weapon is the way to go, because guns make noise which draw attention. You also need ammo for them, and they take a lot of maintenance to keep running properly. A blunt weapon like my Celtic Battle Club is good to go, and I'm not going to need to sharpen it very often or at all. I'm not going to really need to do any type of maintenance. It's just going to bash skulls.
Yeah, and I prefer to go the route of the edged weapon because I have a very simple rule when it comes to like zombie survival, any kind of survival. I want to have things that can make more things. And a knife you can use to sharpen for spears, you can use as a pry bar if necessary, although that's really risky with a lot of blades. And you can use it as the weapon, you know, you can use it to cut food. You can't really use a club to cut your food up to eat. I mean, sure, you could hit an apple with it and eat the pieces off the ground, but it's really
you can
inefficient.
actually just bite an apple.
I'm saying, you know, you don't know.
I know you've never eaten an apple in your life.
It's rancid
but
stuff. The world's gone bad. There could be maggots and stuff. You want to cut it open to see. So, haha. Anyway, so yeah, I would go with an edged weapon, and that's pretty much the same rule that I'm going to apply to all my supplies, though. Like, basically, if you have a knife, a lighter, and a rope, I think you're good to go. You know, you got pretty much all the necessities you need.
The one thing that I'm preaching, which aren't those, is armor. Some form of body armor that covers your entire body. This could be from just a suit of armor, which I think you need to have welded in the proper places with latches. This will keep zombies from overrunning you and ripping the armor off. But zombies who can't bite you, or some of them can spit on you. Basically, if you can't get the fluid interaction, which is typically how the zombie virus is spread, if you can't get that, then you're pretty much safe. If you're a walking tank in a suit of welded armor, you know, you get back, have someone take off the padlocks and take you out of the armor with a blunt weapon, you can wade out into the zombies and basically do whatever you want.
Right. But the only thing that would discourage me from the heavy armor more towards the light armor is if you're wearing the heavy armor and it's transferred via blood or anything, you know, if they're on top of you, bleeding or drooling into you, you're going to have slots for vision, breathing, and everything.
Well, I figured you'd have, like, some bulletproof glass for goggles.
You still got to get air in there.
Yeah.
So,
Oh.
you can always go old scuba style.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. The old style.
That would be nice. And you'd look cool killing zombies because you're like a scuba dude. Alright, so, yeah, and, I mean, ideally, you'd like to have, I think, a knife, a blunt weapon, and a gun. I mean, that'd be the ideal thing.
The only way I see a gun being useful is against other humans who are trying to take what you have with guns.
Yeah, it'd definitely be useful against other humans, and it'd be useful in the instances where someone needs to make a distraction.
That's true.
So, I mean, ideally for me, I would like to have, like, a pistol, a bow, and a knife. I think those would be, like, the 3 weapons that I would carry. And that would be, like, you know, if you're going out somewhere, you know it's going to be dangerous or whatever, you're on the move, that would be the ideal, like, offensive. But, you know, I mean, anytime you go anywhere in a zombie world, you're going to want to carry stuff that works for what you're doing and can fend off zombies. So even if you go out, you know, your tool belt, you have an extra heavy hammer on there, you know, just in case.
Alright, so we're going to move on to allies. Now, what is the most important quality in an ally to survive the zombie apocalypse? And this was overwhelmingly one-sided for trust, which is what my answer was as well. Because you have to be able to trust the people in your group to, you know, do what's best for the group. You have to be able to trust them with your life. And a part of that is your answer, objectivity. They have to be able to look at things objectively and choose what's going to be best. But you have to trust that they're not going to look out for their own best interest and look more for the best interest of the group, which is why I feel trust is the more important.
Right. I would rather have an objective person that isn't necessarily going to look out for my interests, and I know that up front, because if you know what a person's going to do based on what their goals are, it's a lot more easy to calculate how useful they'd be to the team or group. Whereas if you're just going to trust that they're going to look out for you, there's a lot of variables in there, you know. You're going to find out exactly who panics from what and things like that, and it's not always going to be at the most opportune time. So I would take basically I would take like a sociopath over like a good person or something, you know. I would rather have that sociopath, and I think I'm not looking long term in a zombie apocalypse though. Like, I'm looking medium term. Like, I'm not looking day to day, but I also, if a zombie apocalypse happens, I don't see the human race bouncing back. I assume it's going to be a wipeout event. So basically, I'm just looking to survive as long as I can, kill as much stuff as I can, and have fun while doing it.
Alright, so we'll tie that into our last poll that was up, which is how long you will survive. And this one, I think people are just lying to themselves, because so many people said until every last brain-eating bastard has tasted my fury. And some of the people that said this will be the first one kissing their shotgun, which we had one person admit that they would do. And I know a lot of the people who answer this poll, and you don't have the mentality to actually survive the zombie apocalypse. It's going to take someone who's kind of already fucked in the head to be able to really comprehend what's going on and be able to actually adapt to the situation.
Yeah, I think if you're perfectly, like, emotionally and mentally balanced right now, you're screwed in the apocalypse, because, I mean, it's going to shatter your entire concept of the world.
Yeah, the more you have to lose, the less chance you have to survive. Because if you have to worry about not only yourself, but friends, family, all that stuff, that's all gonna be eating away at you the entire time, and you're gonna be the one that snaps and just starts killing everyone.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think a lot of people would think they would last longer than they would. Not even from, we're not calling these people like pussies or anything.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you guys are going to get overtaken. No, that's not it. It's just, would you really want to live in a world where, like, everybody you love is dying and you basically have to kill either people or things that are like the animated corpses of people on a day-to-day basis? I mean, I think I would be fine with that, personally. But, I'm an asshole. Everybody knows that. And so I would be pumped. But a lot of people, I just don't see it happening. And I think that's a good thing, though. These people are like happily married people, stuff like that. You guys are going down. I mean, you're dead first wave, definitely. Maybe second wave, maybe.
And see, you and I differ on this because I can see you just wanting to go down in a blaze of glory, just running out and going, ah! Where I am going to plot this out. Like I said, I plan on building a zombie shelter. That's the only reason why I have a job, by the way, is to pay off my student loans and build my zombie shelter, which is going to include some form of armored vehicle for recon missions, which we were discussing, probably starting off diesel, but it'd have to work with an alternative form of energy. We'd have to get to work on that. A base of operation that has enough room for people, farming, water filtration, livestock. Basically, you have to be self-sustaining. So, once again, alternative energies such as wind and solar. And basically, my goal would be to bunker up for several months, let shit go crazy, because probably 4 or 5 months, things will start to settle down. Have enough food, supplies to last that, at least, 2 or 3 times that. And then start going out and doing recon missions, figuring out where you stand, seeing if the government actually was able to do anything. And if not, start looking for supplies, start finding supply lines, start finding ways to get clean water, or at least water that you could bring in and then use your filtration system to make clean.
And you're going to use this opportunity to become like ruler of the new world.
Oh yeah.
And that's not what I would like. I could see me like maybe general of the new
you
world.
You would be like my right hand, my enforcer.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be like more of the going out there type of guy for so many reasons. One, I mean, I'm going to love going out and killing zombies. It's going to be awesome to me. Like, I wish there were zombies out there right now. I would not be doing this show. I would be out on the balcony, like, shooting stuff and stabbing stuff, and it would be awesome.
Well, we might do the show still, just in our downtime. Can't always be killing zombies.
Yeah, but one of my biggest things that I think would make me lean towards that is my diet. If you got a farm and everything, that's great. I don't want lettuce, though. I want that frozen pizza, I want those french fries, that corn dog, I want some beefaronis and shit, So I need to go out scouting, because I want to get that processed food. And I'm
you would die pretty early, because you like, Alan, eat this lettuce. You're like, fuck that.
That's exactly right. I'll be like, I'll be back in a couple hours, I'm going to go scout and try and find some good shit.
And, so basically, the important things to know, there's 5, is 1, who to count on. So you need to start thinking of that. Think about your list. You need to have local people that you can count on, because you think you're going to fly across country to, meet up with family and survive with them. Not going to happen. There's going to be no travel once the zombie apocalypse happens, because everyone's going to panic, and that's just going to cause a standstill on all the roads leading in and out of everywhere. So you're going to have to find local people that you can probably either walk to or, a quick drive to. You're going to have to find people that you can trust to do this, to hold their shit together, which is going to be really hard, because until you're under this situation, you don't really know how you're going to handle the situation. You're going to need food and supplies to at least survive for a couple weeks, because when it first happens, that's going to be the worst spread at the beginning where everything's going to shit, everyone's freaking out, not knowing how to handle it. So you're going to have to be able to survive that initial onslaught. So once you get through that, break down at the scouting mission. Once again, I said we need some type of vehicle, preferably armored. You're going to need a group of fetchers who are going to be lightly armored, like bright leather, just something where they can survive quick bite, to run out, grab supplies. You're going to need the enforcer to protect them, basically draw the attention, fight off, and then you're going to need your tank with your vehicle to protect the vehicle to make sure you have an escape route.
Yeah, and and that's another thing we wanted to cover. You know, you're not going to have the zombie bunker right away.
Yeah.
You have to work up to that. In the meantime, I think there's one very important role to anytime you want to hunker down somewhere. And anybody that's military or cop or anything should know this. 2 points of entry and exit are very, very important. One, you're dying.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you're making a last stand. If there's only one way in and one way out, that is a last stand. That's just how it is. Unless you get in and get out before anything or anybody shows up. But you always want to plan for something or somebody showing up. So you want 2 points of entry and exit. You can go over that, but every point of entry and exit, you're going to need a guard or a sentry at. And so if you have like 5 entrances, then you're going to have 5 people taking watch at a time. And, you know, if you have a bigger group, that wouldn't be so bad. But if you have a smaller group, which we're going to assume your group's going to be fairly small in the beginning.
You would want to keep your group fairly small because, once again, there's so many variables, so many wild cards. The bigger your group, it only takes one guy or woman to fuck everything up. Like, if you see a family member outside the door and that person just runs and rips open the door, clearly they're a zombie at this point. Well, guess what? They just got the entire camp overrun. It's like at the beginning of Dead Rising, the woman with her stupid dog that was clearly a zombie through the glass door, runs and rips the door open. They could have protected them all. The zombies weren't in yet, but no, she had to go help her dog, and she killed everybody.
Yeah, and I'm a little more lax on letting people in than Brandon. I think when you come up to the front gate and you want in, obviously you're going to have to consult to a physical examination. I mean, that goes without saying.
With the quarantine zone. We have to have like a quarantine zone.
Yeah, we'll have like a nice little foyer for you to sit on with guns pointed at you just in case. And then you'll have to submit to a trial, some sort of test to show that we can take you in. Like, if you come up with some crazy lady who's obviously a liability and holding like 37 dogs and calling them their baby, you're going to have to kill her. You are going to have to kill your crazy dog lady wife. And once you do that and prove that you are perfectly willing to kill someone for the better of the group, then I'm going to be like, hey, come on in. Hang out with us.
Basically, I wouldn't force you to do that trial, but you would have to be able to prove usefulness. You're going to have some skill that we need in order to make yourself...
You wouldn't even make him kill the dogs? Those are extra mouths to feed.
Those dogs could be, once again, sent out to be distractions.
Right. But do we really need 37 of them? And
we could put them in cannons and launch them. Yeah, she probably wouldn't get in because I don't see what use she has.
So why don't we just go ahead and kill her so we prevent her from being a zombie?
Yeah, that's fine. We can't do that, but I'm just saying, if you don't have, you're there with your crazy zombie lady, or not even zombie lady, dog lady, it might as well be a zombie lady. You're there with them, and you have no useful talents. You can't farm, no medical knowledge. We could throw you out on the front line and let you die.
Here's my problem with that, okay? Here's the only argument I need. Glenn. Glenn was a pizza delivery boy.
That's true. Glenn...
and like you said, you don't know how you're going to act until you're in some situations, especially dangerous situations.
But Glenn, you could tell, could, run, jump, get into little places. I would, like, all right, let's see what we can do.
Yeah,
Train you some
I mean, if
parkour.
it's a morbidly obese quadriplegic
Yeah.
lady in a wheelchair, then yeah, obviously, unless she's Stephen Hawking's mother and has all his knowledge and taught him everything he knows, then yeah, we're obviously going to kill her and let her go to the zombies. I'll
Wait.
probably take her wheelchair.
Well, yeah, I mean,
That could be useful, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, it'd be like if you don't have a shopping cart, you can fill it up, roll it around, put bombs on it, roll it out. Any
Exactly.
number of good things.
Yeah.
So,
Just cruise it around to show that you're the leader of the outfit.
yeah, maybe that.
I mean, if you don't have a golf cart at that point.
Yeah.
If you have a golf cart.
A golf cart,
obviously,
obviously, yeah. Especially if it's like the Pope-mobile golf cart. So you got the bulletproof glass and you just get to roll around. That'd be awesome.
I see you being more of a Dennis Hopper in Waterworld
It's likely.
without the cigarettes.
Well, yeah, no cigarettes. That's gross.
And see, that's another reason I'm going to constantly be outside because I'm a smoker, so...
Yeah, smokers will die pretty quick, too.
How so?
Because, one, you don't have the lung capacity to run.
Obviously, you haven't seen my father freight train it down the highway. Guaranteed
father
he
is a
does
freak,
more
though.
mileage than you.
Your father is a freak.
I'm just
And
saying,
that's a rare
it's
occasion.
entirely possible.
And
Anyway.
I could outrun your dad any day. We
No
set that up.
way in hell.
We go distance, not speed, distance.
It still wouldn't
Feet.
happen. He runs like 7 miles a day.
I walk like a quarter mile a day.
Oh, that's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
Now I feel like a dumbass for
I
even
know.
saying anything.
I know.
Anyway, we're going to skip on to variables.
Variables, yeah.
Because we could
Basically,
spend all
this
day
is-
talking about that.
Yeah, this is
equipment
our
and everything.
disclaimer section of, okay, this, basically you have no chance to survive if these are the
Well,
circumstances.
no, we're going to talk about a couple different variables. We'll start off in what Brandon considers the no-win variable, which is the super zombies.
Super
The
zombies.
zombies that are fast, they can think,
Are
they
stronger,
can problem
typically.
solve. Yeah, these zombies, there's not really a whole lot you can do.
Yeah.
You're basically just trying to live as long as you can because, the human race has no ability to bounce back or anything from this. But, 28 days later, they weren't zombies, but they were people that got infected with the rage virus and just became mindless and aggressive. And they were in England, and so it had a chance of being quarantined.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say how successful that attempt was or anything, because some people may not have seen the movie. Fuck it, you should have seen it by now. 28 days later, it was quarantined in England. 28 weeks later, it shows that it gets out and got France, so nobody shed a tear for that. Anyway. But yeah, the super zombies, I think that's why the Dawn of the Dead franchise died out, because they started doing the Land of the Dead or whatever it was.
I
Like,
remember
John
one
Lake
of
was
them.
on
Yeah,
though.
they had guns and were
Yeah,
learning
one
to
of
use
the
guns and
zombies
stuff.
learned to use gun.
I mean-
At that point, you're not a zombie anymore. You're just like a dude with ZIV or AIDS with a Z or whatever you want to call it. It's more a disease on a
Yeah.
person than actually being a different creature.
I mean, the bottom line is, great tactics and skill can overcome great numbers. I mean, if you see the 300, they fought this giant army. But eventually, the numbers were too great for them, and they were overwhelmed. If you're facing an army that has greater numbers, and are stronger, faster, and learning, it's only a matter of time before you're in a no-win situation. You can't overcome that. So, the second no-win situation. Airborne or waterborne virus that can't be destroyed by filtration. That is basically, once again, you're just waiting to die, hoping that you can live long enough to, do whatever you can do, or, look for a cure if it's possible, but if you can't find a cure, sooner or later, you're going to die. You have to drink water, you have to breathe air. If that virus is up, going around, what are you going to do? There's nothing that can be done.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Because I mean, even like the bloodborne pathogens, you know, they usually have, like in a lot of shows and movies, the bite or the scratch. A scratch, for me, it always bothered me because the bite, a lot of bacteria live in saliva. The scratch always bothered me because nails don't tend to hold bacteria secreted from the body. It tends to be bacteria and stuff that they pick up. It's just dirt and grime and shit. So if all it takes is a scratch, then you know, basically the virus can like live from contact or whatever and just needs an opening to get in on, and that just makes it even worse. So I don't know, there's a lot of variables, and I think a lot of people are going to be trying to figure out what exactly causes it so you don't kill too many people unnecessarily when you're like, oh my god, they kissed a zombie, they're infected. Which, I mean,
If you kiss a zombie, you probably should get shot anyway.
what if it's a group of dudes, there's no women around, but there's a woman zombie?
Still.
Just saying. Well, she's looking pretty hot.
I'm just saying, like, if you go down the list, going gay with dudes, being straight with the zombie, the dude gayness is higher because at least they're alive.
You gay.
I'm just saying.
But anyway, one of the other variables that I've been thinking about lately is what other, like, creatures could exist in the world with the zombies. And my thought is this: if a zombie apocalypse happens, I hope that vampires are real. Because vampires are not going to want us to die. We're the food source, you know? I mean, it's like when the world freaked out about mad cow disease. We don't want cows to die. We love cows. They're delicious. So, vampires, you know, they're faster, stronger, all that. So, and they're probably going to be immune to the zombie virus because they're typically immune to most, like, diseases that affect humans, you know. And so, they are going to go battle zombies for us. It's going to be awesome. If they're real, which is a big if.
Yeah, they'll be our shiny beacons of hope.
With their glitter.
Yeah, with their shiny bodies.
Well, obviously, if they're the Twilight zombies, we're screwed.
Or vampires.
Or vampires.
Yeah, those vampires will die in the first wave.
Yeah. Man, why'd you even have to bring that up? I hate that series so bad. It's just so horrible. Have you ever seen one of those?
I have.
I watched part of one, and it was like the worst, longest 45 minutes of my life.
I've seen the first two, I believe, riff tracks.
Oh,
and even with
Jesus.
the riff tracks, it's so fucking bad.
Yeah, they're really...
Except
really
for the baseball scene in the first one, that was great.
I think it was part of the second one I saw, the second or third one.
They played baseball during a thunderstorm because hit the ball so hard it sounds like thunder. That's true.
Seriously?
That's what happens. Yeah.
No.
That happens.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, that's off topic.
Yeah.
Back on topic.
Back on topic. What were we talking about?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, the variable situations. And so we have that. And then I think another variable is the Resident Evil.
Yeah.
The where you're getting the zombies and the
bioweapons,
mutant animals and bioweapons. I don't know about that one either. Basically, you're only like I think in that situation I would be thinking, man, I gotta try and get in with Umbrella because they're where it's at. But if you show up to Umbrella's door, they're probably just gonna gun you down like a zombie.
Yeah.
So to me, that's another you're fucked situation.
Kind of in with them on the ground floor.
Yeah, yeah. And even then, they're perfectly willing to shut you in the lab and let you be eaten by zombies. So, not a great health plan with Umbrella. That's what I'm getting at. But I think, that'd be another no-win situation. Because once you get the bioweapons and the mutants
you sit around with your welded suit of armor, Nemesis will fucking rip you in half still.
Yeah.
It's just bad times.
Yeah, I mean, the liquor's gonna tongue rape your cornhole. It's just gonna be horrible.
Yep.
Then you got the mutants from Africa with the squid tentacle heads and stuff. It's just all bad.
Yeah, there's nothing good about bioweapons. And that goes out to our governments.
Yeah, that's our political agenda, to stop Resident Evil from happening in real life.
Or if it does happen, just keep it to the zombies.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need the bioweapons. There's no way that's going to end well.
Well, what if they made us like the Nemesis?
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that would be.
Alright, so we're
if
willing
you're
to
doing
be...
the bioweapons, get hold of us.
We will be like the test subjects of the final version that you think you got all the bugs worked out.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the first test subject. That's not going to end well.
I kind of want the eye on the shoulder.
Yeah.
That's cool. And I mean,
eyes are vulnerable though.
yeah, but like, you see like a tyrant walking towards you or whatever, you're like, man, that's a big scary motherfucker. You see me with the intense eye, maybe a little eyeliner on it to make it look more dramatic, you know? You're like,
are you going to
holy
look off in the
shit.
distance with your third eye?
Well, no, I'll look off into the distance, and my third eye will be like looking, and then bam, it looks at you, and you're like, holy shit, it sees me.
Yeah.
I just
That'd be
shit my
pretty sweet.
pants. Yeah. And I'll flick eye boogers at them just to gross them out and show them who's the boss. Basically, I'm going to be a bully. I'm going to be a bully, tyrant, fucking nemesis.
Nice.
That's what it's going to come down to. There's something else we were going to cover.
I think we see the Napoleon complex coming out.
Well, I mean, I have a big eye. I want to utilize it in every way I can. There's something else. There's something else. Damn it. Completely forgot. I was thinking it was another variable.
I think we covered them all.
No. I mean, because really you could throw all kinds of variables.
Well, yeah.
Like ninjas and stuff, you know. But, I don't know how well the ninjas would do against zombies.
Well, ninjas are quick and typically stick to high ground, so I think they would do pretty well. Because they're all about the quick strike and not, you know, a head-on competition.
Well, but here's why I'm unsure about ninjas. Because they rely on stealth, and we don't know how the zombie vision and smelling and hearing's going to be, you know? Like how sharp it is. So if they can see pretty well at night, they're going to be able to spot the ninjas. If they can smell pretty well, they're going to smell the smoke bombs and stuff. So, I mean, it could go either way. And the ninjas...
But what
they're
about, like,
small.
Naruto? And Naruto has the Shadow Clone Jutsu.
Well, now, are we talking Naruto ninjas?
Well, we're just talking about, maybe that's possible. I don't know any real ninjas.
Maybe. Yes, you do.
Well, yeah, I know one.
So, exactly.
But,
Anyway, yeah, but the ninjas and the aliens is another one. I'd be interested to see. Because the aliens, you gotta wonder, you know, if aliens are watching us, like, would they be cool with zombies taking over? Or do they have some plans for us? Or are they like, oh no, this is an intelligent race, semi, so let's save it from the zombies, you know?
I mean, if they saw the Jersey Shore, that's not going to happen.
No. And then in that case, they probably sent the zombies, and it started in Jersey.
That is a very likely possibility.
Yeah. I don't know.
Alright. Pretty sure we ran long. That's
Probably.
okay. This was a very important episode.
Yeah, I
Covered
was
a lot
not
of good
really
stuff.
focused today. I'm realizing that.
Yeah.
I was not focused.
Yeah, I saw you playing Angry Birds for most of the
Well,
show.
that one damn level's pissing me off so bad. I can't get 3 stars on it. It's pissing me off.
Alright.
Anyway.
Well then. Got this one out early. Hope you guys
We
enjoyed
didn't
it.
even touch on
Sunday night.
bows.
Bows? You mentioned bows.
Well, just like quick, but I guess.
Bows are alright. I mean, if you watch the Walking Dead TV show, obviously Daryl's a badass with his
Yeah.
crossbow.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a crossbow. He has a regular bow, doesn't he?
I think he's got both actually.
I think he does mostly use the crossbow.
Yeah, he mostly used the crossbow 'cause that's
Yeah.
what he used like when they were in town and stuff. But I think he had a regular bow too.
Yeah, they're good because you just pick up your ammo and they're silent. So, doubly
Yeah,
good.
but see, like in that case, like I wonder like what kind of non-lethal weapons you could use. Like I'm sure the government has like non-lethal round or like lethal rounds for like paintballs and stuff. And
Really?
well, like I mean, they make all kinds of paintball stuff, and that brings up another thing like what zombies would be susceptible to, because they make like pepper spray rounds that are like little paintballs of pepper spray. I mean, I don't think you use an actual paintball gun.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know, because
it seems like a zombie would be able to feel, but most of them don't feel pain. So I don't know if they would have the same sensory, vulnerabilities.
Yeah.
Of a human.
I don't know. I mean, this discussion could go on forever.
Yeah, we'll probably be touching this subject again. Hopefully, keep sending in your zombie survival guides.
And maybe
cover
next
that.
time we'll cover like the utopia that we
Oh
create.
yeah, the perfect zombie survival.
Oh, I remember one thing that I was going to add that's necessary. Books.
Books, yeah.
Books, digital copies, analog copies, whatever. Some copies of knowledge, because even if you can't find like an engineer or farmer or whatever, most people have the capacity to learn a trade. And there's a lot of very well written books about most any trade nowadays. So even if you can't find tradesmen, you can become one yourself.
Yeah.
So books are very important. I think that was the big one that I was forgetting.
All right. Well, let's end it there.
And jiu-jitsu.
Oh yeah, if you haven't seen Tokyo
yeah.
Zombie, watch that movie on Netflix. They use Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to fend off the zombies. Why? Because Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is used to control your opponent's body position. Look it up, watch it, awesome movie.
And also, if you learn anything from Shaun of the Dead, acting lessons. Probably couldn't hurt.
All right, now we really are going to end
All right,
this.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
So, like always, friend us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. This is the FearnutZ Hour signing off.